It's time for the grassy pastures as we go to Erangel for our final two games of the day. Games number 39 coming at you. Pansy and Sims, take it away, my friends.
Thanks, James, and the boys on the desk. Yes, an underwhelming performance for some of these teams thus far. FaZe, one of them, ENCE, the other, all having issues. And yes, Erangel does seem to be their saving grace sometimes, but they need to deliver now. FaZe need a little bit of that magic to come back through, maybe Fuzzface in hospital, who knows what it is, but they need something.
The bigger picture here is what a fall from grace it's been for ENCE. It seems to just be a bit of a downward spiral, and I don't know why, because we've seen what's capable from that roster. They came into phase number one and they completely just tore everyone apart and dominated the entire thing. We then went to the FaZe Global Summit. Things didn't go their way. They didn't make it out of groups. Phase 2 wasn't the best. Certainly wasn't no phase 1. And now here we are, 2 points in 3 games. 2 kills. Game 1, nothing 2, nothing 3. 14th and 15th place respectively. Like, everything just seems to be going wrong for them. And they don't appear, in my personal opinion, to be switching things up. They're still up in style, but they're still doing the same old stuff. You have to adapt and you have to change something. They're not changing players. I respect it. But if you're not going to change players, then you need to change your play style.
No, I'm 100% with you. I actually don't mind teams keeping full rosters that they have. If they feel like the synergy of the players is okay, I don't mind it too much, but they need to fix something up quite badly too. And well, if there's going to be a circle, it's going to be this sort of deal. What's going on with these water circles today?
Could mention something, but never mind. Something about the weather. Kameshki, Stalba, further afield, Yasnaya. All right, saving grace. Let's channel some positivity here. ENCE fans, Finns at home, channel the positivity. We are in ENCE's backyard. This is their territory. This is their home turf. Always split at the start. It's fair. It works. It's the next circle. It's the late game. It's what they can do after this. Get together, get some prime location, keep control of it. We'll see how this fares further into the game. Let's talk about what happened that we didn't really speak about, who's not on home turf, FaZe Clan. It's kind of home turf. It's becoming a backup because they go here more often recently with the playing paths and how things play out through the game. Mill to power, completely open. It allows TSM to maybe extend a little bit further and a little bit deeper, the old monkey compound that we like to call it. Gustav will be there doing his usual thing. Go forward. Another adjustment due to playing path. NIP. For them, this time it's gone really well. Lipovka and then the hillside where they like to go and where they like to loot when the plane is unfavorable compared to George. This time there's no big up and over rotation. They're not going to go past Saverny and then coming to usual home turf. They have to call this home turf. This has to be a place to be, but we know eventually it will come from water. Do we see occasionally circles that end near Lipovka? Sure. But more often than not, it pulls away, it comes down. You have to work your way up that horrible, treacherous hill if you are downwind of it. Initial kill, I will just mention it on screen there. Unfortunately, I think it was Ival, was it? From N47. One player certainly went down. Yes, it was. So your IGL's gone now for N47. Your man who generally is supposed to be holding things together.
I guess you could... If you want to look at clutching at straws, he can now lead by seeing every single player's screen. I mean, you probably want him alive, but if anyone's going to die, maybe an IGL isn't the worst thing in the world to have go down. But not this early on. That's not good. I mean, you've got a lot of footage to look over in regards to how the Knights would loot, for example, if you're coming into, you know, the PEL. I don't like seeing players getting picked up like that, isolated. The one thing I worry about now when it comes to ENCE, we talk about when they don't get circle often. We saw it in the last phase a great deal, that it simply didn't go to the east a lot. I worry that they're not together yet. I worry they're going to lose out on having the jump start here. I worry they're going to get picked apart, or maybe miikaz gets flooded here by, you know, maybe N47 looking for new options. I want to see them be proactive and smart about this, and I'm just worried it won't be the case.
Because they're still looting, even though they're already inside the circle. I get it. Maybe you think, okay, we've got a bit more time here. But in theory, they're already there, so you shouldn't have to go too late.
Look at the other teams heading their way. If
this
you
is what
get to see the map,
everyone else who's outside of the circle is already moving, and they're not there, essentially the last ones. So the prime territory is now gone.
Yes.
Do you think, random question here, FaZe, this is going to be quite hard. Do you think they'll go Nova and look for boats, or do you think they'll take the bridge and maybe get hit by 7? Because I think we've got a trifecta down there that could unfold.
They look for boats, but they may not get them.
Raise Your Edge is the next problem. If they turn up at the wrong time and get themselves in this trifecta fight, we're in trouble on Sosnovka.
Yeah, I mean, if you're FaZe, you'd want a boat. It's probably the safest way off that. But you look at the available areas where you're going to get one, you're pretty close to 7 already. And then it means you're going to be late to try and get across the bridge. So no matter what you do, you're kind of screwed. You kind of might have to just commit to the bridge late game. Or maybe just hope that people didn't see a boat on the kind of further southwest side of Novo. But I feel as though they'd look for that. And we are seeing the clash between 7 and Raise Your Edge. It looks like there's a pull-up for one of the Raise Your Edge members. He's gone towards one of the solo houses. Or not necessarily the solo house, but one of the houses on the way. This could cause some issues. That's just a little bit of fire on the cross towards Liquid. Nothing too close by. Just warding them away, keeping that there for themselves. But look who's on the other side. Mert's on the run. But he actually spun that on a dime. Big shot. And what a big performance from DA. We've asked to see this aggression. We've asked to see this team turn up, and that is a huge shutdown on Team Liquid.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's gone horribly wrong. All 4 dead in a matter of seconds. M47 there to claim the last scalp of Team Liquid. Well, that's not good, is it? Let's take a look at the how they've been doing today. 11th place, only 7 kills over 3 games. Not the greatest of Liquid days. When they were gunning for that top spot, they were gunning for the trophy. Every time you have these performances, you slip further and further away from the #1 spot. I'll have a quick check-in down south. It looks like FaZe are opting to look for boats and take a different avenue of approach. That's fine. I am surprised. I thought maybe they might just do it for a little bit of fun and BM, maybe some free points, that 7 didn't camp the bridge and actually hold Raise Your Edge back. There was options to do so. FaZe are waterbound. Here we go. Where do they make an entry point? Do they go home turf, mill to power? Do they go deeper Lipovka?
I'd probably look Lipovka if I'm honest. Easier to scout than Milta. Milta, you're rocking up so blind and it's so far south compared to Circle Middle Ground. Lipovka, at least you can look at.
I suppose when you look at the little like shark fin that kind of struts out of where Milta Power is, it is a cliff face. You have the flat beach. There's nowhere really for anybody to camp and hold point. I suppose in Lipovka you've got all the buildings. Yes, it'll give you some level of defense, but it also gives a hidey hole for people to be there.
It's just where do you go from now for FaZe? As I said, even if they beach now, you're still going to be on foot for a great deal of time. Your plan in the long run is very limited, and it looks like they've just gone to the cliffs, the closest point on the southern side of the island. TSM just going to be heading over towards a nice little compound here, just towards the left side of prison. And
DA still going for it.
Look,
I love it.
I want DA to show off some more. I liked NIP. The way they've been playing recently has been really, really good fun. But keeping players isolated on their own, not going to work out for you. And MBS is going to suffer for that one. Miraku can't get there in time. He has to back away. N47 were laying down fire towards him. MBS is stranded. And the nade does it for him. That's nice work from DA. Again, very quick, very decisive hit in that compound. And Miraku needs to back away.
And this is what happens when they have confidence and they believe in themselves and they get stuck in. Sitting back doesn't work in this game, let alone for that team.
I do love the compound, though, that NIP have gone to now. That's one of my favorites to hold on. If I ever see a circle like this, if I can get it, it's the one just west of Lipovka on the hill that you can overlook that entire area. I really like it. Nice little advantage with the high ground. So whether or not they stick there, because it will eventually move to land, that's always the big thing. It doesn't give you late game potential, really, compared to something like maybe the Knights have, or where G2, TSM are. But still, I love that for now. If you can hold that for just a little bit of time, it's nice. But north we go. Wow.
That's a
shift.
Yoink. Good Lord. Everyone now has to migrate from the south. Everyone's in vehicles and away we go. It's like watching an ant farm just at work here.
God, that Yasnaya field has taken up a big old portion of this too, isn't it?
It is, and you've got, what, 2 real shacks that you can play off the back of? I mean, you die once you leave them, but if you actually want to play them, they are playable for a couple of circles here and there. Biggest winners out of all of this.
Look at these shots from DA.
Is it an IP again? Oh, yes, it is. All right.
God, this is nice to see.
Liquid, NIP, they're not messing around today, or Digital Athletics. I think someone's had a word with them and told them they need to change things up, and it's working.
So nice. Now, I want to look at towards the south. This is a big problem. FaZe finally got some vehicles, but it's not ideal. They're going to be out on foot for a great deal as Fuzzface already feels the pressure coming in. It's a steal coming out too. That's Menta doing the damage. Bit of a response coming back in from mxey, but that's going to find an answer. Crab's got him. And so did Buster, to be fair. So now, yes, there's damage. Yes, 7 are being answered upon, but it's too late in the fact to save FaZe. Buster goes down to the Raise Your Edge boys who are out towards the west. They have a nice bit of ground to be firing from. SIMSY is going to find that one very comfortably. Pull-up comes in. That's TSM trying to get towards G2. This seems like a constant battle, these guys. Whether it be G2, TSM, and NIP, they're always clashing. Na'Vi trying to head through as well. They're taking a very wide swing northwest, right past CrowCrowd. Now, if Tiikzu landed anything with that car 98, I'd lose my damn mind. Not going to happen. Na'Vi continue going forward, trying to avoid those shots. And a doozy goes down. Big covering fire coming out from CrowCrowd.
Only just on the very edge of the circle before he just blasted away into the distance. He does go down. They pick up the vehicle. They grab the point. ubah caught out in no man's land. There is a response though. Scoom, I saw an M24 kicking in his hands. ubah does at least have the level 3 gear to play with, you'd assume, as he is rocking a 249. ubah is having difficulties.
Technical difficulties. We'll be back in a second. My gun's sticking through the car. On foot we go. That's really not ideal as well. And 7's now coming past them on the same route. Yeah, they're way off in the circle. They're about halfway to safety. And look at 7. 7's just behind them.
Struggling.
FaZe are going to hear the car pull up now, so keep your eyes on the kill feed. You might just see either 7 or FaZe getting a kill on each other. I don't know how close they are. Aitzy. Oh, he wants it.
Does he even bother going for it, though? Is there any point at this?
He thought about it. No, because you're just going to die to blue. You'll get gate kept. But maybe for a vehicle, yeah, that'd be lovely if you can get that one.
Oh, he got him.
It's just the spectator client. There should be a vehicle around somewhere.
They'll be able to find the vehicle, all being well. It gives them now something to mobility on the map. They can find a better foothold because they are outside of the blue. Yes, it's only early tick damage, but eventually it is going to start to hurt the further you are away from that bad boy. Na'Vi makes it in northern edge of the circle beyond Stalber. They are going hella north at the moment and hoping for the best of it. There's the replace. The vehicle... Did it? No, the vehicle, I think, went up. I saw a little bit of smoke at the end. It did.
Oh, honestly.
Uh-oh.
They have the old Harry Potter card. Just don't get in it, all right? Learn from what happened with Shroud. Centers up. We're looking at ENCE. Really good position for them. Reciprocity, good position too. Desperado, same again. These guys, I'm hoping ENCE do kind of, again, bring everyone back together. It's a risky rotation at this point. People will be looking your way. But you do kind of want your players in the right place.
Consolidate. I'm fine with it. Bring them all in, reel them all in. We were talking about those little fields in Yasnaya, the odd compound or two. It looks like there's a 2-2 split between a decent one and one that's in no man's land for the Knights, so they'll be in a difficult spot. You can see Reels and Snark, that's the better position for now. It's low, and then you have a hill behind you which defends you from anybody from Yasnaya, so you're completely out of harm's reach on the western side. The problem is further afield, you then got teams that have basically level 3 buildings, high-rises, garages. You can see what's going on. You can look through them. So you're not out of the woods completely, but you are out of danger from behind. 7, still trying to find a foothold on the map. I understand it. There's really not else to play with, and I think they might run into the Knights, unfortunately.
This camera angle just looked really weird and creepy, just staring out the window at the Raise Your Edge guys. Wanted going to find Crab pretty comfy. He pulled up. It was a bit of a last-ditch attempt for them to try and get somewhere. 14 teams still alive. GamerLegion certainly going to put their attention towards the Knights now. That position is duly noted. As TSM consider maybe their next steps now?
They lost Rory on the pull-up earlier on. There was a bit of a scuffle between them and G2, and I think they at least got a refrag. Gustav will scout this, and he needs to be careful because he's working his way to what will be essentially a priority compound. He is out of the car. That's fine. He's in a ditch. He's downwind of enemy players. I'd see an ubah just holding on and bandaging for dear life. There's nothing else really they can do because the circle's still moving and they're still dying.
Might wait on the last card to try and take some shots if they're going to.
Just try and get a dink and take the vehicle.
But it's not going to work out for them. They're just trying to stay alive, aren't they? They do have some meds, though. You've got to look at Aitzy. He's got 2 kits there.
Bandages.
Yeah, he can get through this. I think he can stay ahead of the blue, considering where they're coming from, considering it's a nice, even circle. Level 3s at this point, always nice. Probably a bit too tough to get to. Probably a lot of people could get it. Yeah, that's a big old bit of bait, isn't it?
Look at that range. K98, M24. They're an SKS and maybe a Mini as well, so CrowCrowd aren't messing around, and they have the plateau, but they're on the edge of the circle, and no one else is really close to them, bar Reciprocity. We know Scoom's already got an M24 ringing on the battlefield, and a 249 if anyone does want to pull up on them. That thing will completely shred at that distance. Raise Your Edge made it into the outskirts, I want to say, of Yasnaya, just off from the main head of the city, but the problem is they found another team in GamerLegion. So we should see a scuffle between them, the police station, the library, whatever else you want to call it. Aitzy's going to try and scout ahead. There's no point in picking really Uber up at this moment in time. The deeper you go with that vehicle, the more noise you're making. This is what I was saying before, the police station and the library. Some people call it different words. Clearly the teams are very aware of one another, hence Raise Your Edge aren't going any further. They can kind of hold them dead to rights, really. Can GamerLegion, because of the spread they have, Bjorn's position is fantastic. It stops any advancement on the northern side of this. But they are moving as a unit, so the refrag and trade-off will be real.
It's a nice position for Gustav, but they have to fight their way in here. Na'Vi are closer to the circle. Big turn from Pokemolodoy. And now Raise Your Edge looking for new options, maybe going to look further north. The thing is, the field doesn't have much cover to it, and now look at the amount of bullets coming towards there. Any way they go, they are in so much danger here. If they do get out of here, you've got the Knights, you've got Reciprocity, and then CrowCrowd, so they might have to go with anything they can. Michael could maybe pick up Gustav here. That does look like a somewhat safe revive if he's further enough down the hillside. Don't know if there's an off angle that could maybe punish him, but no, that's not to be. DA sending it like madmen in towards ENCE. This is so dangerous. Raise Your Edge trying to pull up, and it's all gone a bit wrong there for him.
Everyone on the rotation, unfortunately, dying. Raise Your Edge thought there was a safer alternative, and you know what? That little trash compound in the middle of nowhere that we were speaking about.
Oh my God, it's just
paying dividends. They're
look
just
at this.
collecting so many bodies on the pull-up. Like, that's not the best place in the world.
If you
but
see
the circle's
3
been
cars
favorable.
blown up, you're like, should we go there?
Look at all the bodies. Oh my Lord. Well, for the Knights, it's proving good. It's keeping them in this game. They're holding on. Raise Your Edge, down and out, unfortunately, but at least allows GamerLegion to move. And again, because of the house that the Knights are in, there is a huge hill here, which gives GamerLegion a lot of defensive play. They can't be seen from 2 different angles, at least, and then have to look onwards. Gustav will try and go for a little bit of revenge, bopping between 2 players on Na'Vi, but has to be careful. He's very open, very exposed by this tree.
It might be time to just try and get points for him. That's really good. That's really good for Gustav. Great nade. Able to stay alive for now. The problem is they are not in the circle. Na'Vi are ahead of them. You've got G2 to the south, so it might be time to switch into kind of like trying to frag out mode. I don't know if they can make it in. It's a very open field where they are. I'm amazed DA made it this far. They just sended that right in and took over the old granny hut.
Which makes you wonder if anyone from ENCE, having 4 players up, maybe someone should have been there watching that, keeping control of it. Rather than having 1 player in the shack across the road, it probably would have been more, all right, you're committing more expense to it, you're putting a body in there, that's fair. But really, what can you do from that shack across the road as a single one? If he's there just to watch the upper side of the hill, fine, but now you've got someone literally inside your garden.
Oh no, they've gone 1 by 1. Oh, BestLodge. Doesn't know where Iroh is, though. Iroh should be able to peek this and get the kill. Oh my God, BestLodge. What is that sort of shot?
He's a nutter, isn't he?
Michael's like, I'm not even going to try and fight you 1v1. Look, let me get my nade out. It's much safer. Much, much safer. Michael just about to get off a heal, so he might be able to stay alive a little bit longer. I think Iroh might be dead in the water. I don't know how close he is to that circle. I think he's going to die to the blue anyway. And for now, DA look like they might be going towards ENCE here. Hold on, are they making a push towards ENCE? It might be the case. I'm looking at this. They're moving in. This is the bold, brave play we wanted to see. And the sound you're not often expecting is the Vector going off. It's not even the right patch yet. Anyway, Rustanmar's upstairs, Squeaky upstairs. They're all waiting with bated breath going, what on earth has just happened? Did they actually pull up on us?
Look at how scared they are, just hiding inside these rooms. If 1 grenade comes in, they're in all kinds of trouble.
Oh, luckily enough, miikaz's nade did find Mert, so at least they're trying to build from this. Are they going to jump out the window? Yeah, Rustanmar's dropped, and now we have 2 here. TRYFFELI's there with the Vector. Close range, that thing will do damage. And DA get wiped.
Just like that. Valiant effort.
Wait, more players coming in now. We've got NIP, we've got N47. They're all folding in towards this one.
We need to go back to that fight because it's going to get completely messy. They're just knocking the living hell out of one another. NIP's gone. N47 seal them off. They crashed at the exact same time. And for ENCE, this is their territory. This is their homeland. These are their 3 points. Makendak, unfortunately, knocks himself over. That's not good for GamerLegion, especially when you are on the rotate, unfortunately. Up against the white edge, the Knights will see them. Bjorn goes down. That's confirmation of the kill from earlier on. And everything's kind of gone a little bit quiet over towards that compound, and for good reason, because ENCE is still lurking. Nade out. Misa. Does it bounce?
Oh, he ran out and basically got into it. I feel like he was dead, whichever way you want to cut it. The one thing I gotta say as well, I like where G2 are right now. It only becomes viable when all the other teams in the East go down. You have that huge ridgeline to play off. It's actually not bad. You have such a big slice of the circle if you are able to keep control of all of it, which is very tricky.
And because the road's so open, it keeps Desperados at bay, even though no one's really applying pressure to do so. Because the road's open and you're going to be exposed to Reciprocity, Scoom with the M24, Udyr with the 249, they can't really make a move on them. So for G2 now, the only real problem is if Circle updates and forces ENCE this way. For now, batten down the hatches, boys, grab a coffee, take a breather, and just play it out and wait till the next Circle updates. Who's really in trouble? M47, they're going to have to move next Circle unless they get the hardest shift in the world. NOOKIE, he's chilling, holding on for dear life. But so many players are going to have a vision on him. You'd expect him to drop rather shortly.
It does seem like that might be the case. Mine has to prone, praying for safety. Look at that blue. He's all right. He's fine for now. Pretty nice little plateau. He's quite lucky to have that, to be fair. It looks like T-Bone might have started the process against ENCE. NOOKIE.
You see the pan just dink then?
Get in. No, NOOKIE, not like that. You had it all. No, you didn't. You had a bit of a plateau, and that's about it. G2 still safe, quite nice. Could get folded on from 2 directions, but ENCE are falling apart here. I'm a little bit worried about them trying to hold on to this. If N47 can get a really good push, take down TRYFFELI, it's game on. But I think they've been a little too slow at that because of the knock on Vazku. So they couldn't quite maybe move on like they'd have liked to. Now, the smoke wall is up, so ENCE are pretty worried about is anyone close by. They don't have that full information. Here comes the send from the Knights. Drayden's going to try and get towards, I think it's the big pylon there. Which might mean Reciprocity can see him. First bit of damage coming through from Page. SKUIJKE having to hide out. Look out the window. Page still has an angle. This could be a big nade if it goes right.
I think it's just missed that top door, so the angle isn't quite correct, but there is another one. If that's hit the banisters outside, it could be problematic. Silence mini kicking off. Dual AKM's waiting. TRYFFELI.
G2, look at Yannis, look at Desperados. They're so close by. Yannis, though, right around the back lines, gets the spray. Ooh. Perfect on one, but Ultra just that bit better with a mini and making it look damn big as Braexco is on the move. He knows the knocks are there. He's going to be just pushing up on this. That's a little bit overkill, I feel, and no one likes the 4 times on this. But look at that precision. The man's an animal. TomiL stands tall. We saw his headshot potential just a second ago on Sanhok. We're down to just CrZZ here. A scrappy battle for sure. The Desperados really ruining that brilliant position that G2 had, as it looks like the 2 remaining for Desperados for now could actually be picked up here.
All the smokes in the world will go down. The walls have been built. They might be able to get Ultra back on his feet. Calvin Klein also down the bottom side. But you can hear what TomiL's really playing with in terms of range with the Mutant there. It does get the job done. Speaking of job done, it might be the end of N47. It is. Rustanmar was going up on the top to get vision, but it's not needed. miikaz jumps in at the right time. Gets the job done. 6th position for them. Grenades are coming out now. On toward Reciprocity. Drayden.
Scoom's got the best gun in the game.
He's on his own, though. That's the problem for Drayden. If they decide to push this and get aggressive, they'll take control of it, but they don't have to. They can sit where they are. They have a brilliant place in the circle right now.
Desperados back up to 4, able to get everything going, move up. Not going to take the heal while they had the chance. They want to make sure they have the circle, maybe pick up some heals. I don't know if they were just running low quite simply. It looks like a switch out as well for SIMSY, so clearly their loot far from ideal. Now, Reciprocity have 4 players. CrZZ could be a nuisance in the north. That's something they'll have to face eventually. Desperados with a great deal of players towards the east. The south side a little light, because ENCE only have 2.
Udyr is extending on his own, but I understand why. When you've got level 3 gear, you can take a bit more damage and tank it. And then when you've got a 249, should you meet anybody, even at range, I know it's unorthodox to see the 6 times come into use, but we know it can work because the gun just shoots and hits so damn hard.
I think ENCE might be dead in the water here.
Just about to say, if Desperados want to win this, they have to take out ENCE first. They're the next obstacle that will come in their way. They don't have vehicles, and really for this point there's no need because there's nowhere to pull up. You'll just die on arrival. CrowCrowd could be problematic though for Reciprocity. If he sees any one single person, he'll go for the knock and the insta-flush to get the point for G2. He's made it into the top 5 solo, which is fine.
ENCE really need those shots to be real crisp and clean. That's going to encourage and ensure the Reciprocity get involved in this. 3 kills, not exactly a big kill game, but their positioning is the bigger part here. TomiL and Ultra have crept their way forward, very close by to this, probably making sure that ENCE could not cross over, and now they're getting the attention of everyone.
All these teams, though, the more they expose themselves, it's
CrowCrowd just got
two
spotted.
will have vision of them. Yeah, like you can't go anywhere. CrowCrowd is down, he's done for. Same goes for ENCE. As soon as miikaz comes around this corner, Knights, Reciprocity, Desperados, they all see him. It's dangerous waters. For me, this should be a Reciprocity or Desperado game because of the man advantage. However, the Knights have been slowly picking up players. They'll have gear from all the dead bodies that are in front of them. They'll have all the utility in the world, in theory, to play with. But they are kind of stuck in no man's land between 2 teams. If they go forward, they're in trouble. Drayden's
the one who could do it. You did have Skoom and Udir and Shiv all kind of holding that more northern side. They're so tunnel vision towards Desperados, which is not really an issue. You can't really blame them. But it's opened up a room for Drayden to be able to work up on that western side.
Skoom's got a second crate as well. I didn't realize he's traded the M24 off for a Mark 14. Fair play. So that's 2 level 3 bits of gear kicking between 2 players and themselves. However, it doesn't matter because up close and personal, a barrel will completely shatter that into smithereens. Should he not be seen, he is.
Nice spray. No trade either. That's not good. You should have had a trade ready, and now I'm not liking this from Reciprocity. They seem to have gone completely into the idea of dealing with Desperados, but then can't finish the job they started. Wanted with the steal on SIMSY too. Snark was really chiming in on that. Udir desperately trying to connect, and we've actually seen a mutant kill. Somehow, maybe a bit of a steal because it was already a knock. But I don't know if the Desperados can leave this position. I guess Calvin Klein's a little further forward, which can help. miikaz is still standing, bearing in mind. He's holding on for dear life, but now the Knights' turn. They face. That gives away their game. Their quiet plan of building up is now no longer viable. They are noted, and very much duly so.
It's this third-party domino effect. As soon as somebody engages, as soon as somebody makes any kind of rattling noise with a gun, is it time to strike? The Knights, all of a sudden, from being in probably a very hard predicament because of this circle and because of the terrain, they have all this hillside they can play off the back of. No one can really see them. They can hit the deck and be out of danger. And honestly, everyone else upwind of them's in trouble. That's another one down, Udir. So actually 249 taken out of the game for now.
Reciprocity are kind of screwed, and I hate to say it because they had such a good position. They have the better weaponry, but look at their positions. They're back to the circle. They only have the road to keep them safe, so the Knights can play with the cover. The Desperados have the downside of the hill. They're in such a good position for it. TomiL gets punished. He was the one further out, maybe trying to watch if Skoom tried to come over. Monkey's gone on a deeper rotation, and they haven't spotted this out yet. So nice play from Monkey. I'd love to see where he's trying to work towards. I don't think he can do it. I think he's realized that Zark's maybe a little bit too easy to be seen. He could maybe spot him out here, but for now, it's down to Ultra and Calvin Klein. Zark, Drayden, and Wanted, and then Monkey and Skoom. This is very hard for Reciprocity to play out. Oh, that should have been a shot for Skoom. Not an easy one for sure. Yes, they have that plateau. That's all they can bank on now.
That's literally all they have to play with, and then the rock off the backside of where the Knights will be aiming for now. Monkey trying to get aggressive. The spray down will stop him in his tracks. I understand the thinking of why you would want to take this fight on this side, because you know you can't go deeper because of where Calvin Klein's going to be lingering and the fact that you're on a plateau.
Calvin Klein is bang on that middle point, isn't he?
Yep. And he's supported by Ultra, who can keep a tabs on people crossing the road. He's going to feed this information when it's time to stand up. Because for now, Calvin, sit down, lie down, keep your head tucked away, buddy. There's too many opponents that will have eyes on him, so Ultra will feed the information back, and when it's go time, hopefully also Ultra can watch his back for when Skoom comes down that hillside.
I do worry that Calvin Klein could get overwhelmed here. He is putting all of his faith in Ultra, who's about to have to move forward. This is not nice. It's not easy. It's a very tough predicament for most of the teams here. The Knights do have at least the player number advantage for the Desperados. Who hits the shot here? Scoom has to hit the deck. The blue moving in now, but look at the Knights instantly want to get in on the action. They see weakness and they want in on it. Znark finds Monkey. Scoom's last alive for Reciprocity. 2 still alive for Desperados, but Ultra's about to go down. This means Calvin Klein is under the gun. Scoom can see him too once he moves forward. But Scoom, can he do any damage? Can he do anything in this? The Knights are popping off. That's 14 kills. That's a huge scoreline.
Everything that I said about their position with that one little yellow shack, they've made complete the best potential escape route with it humanly possible. And really, if you Scoom, what do you do? I mean, this might be one where you just give it up. Just say, nope. I'll deal with it.
Let's go, Calvin Klein. Let's see what you got. A cheeky 1v3. Not gonna happen. Didn't seem all that likely. But the Knights, what a game then. That looked like maybe 13, 14 kills there.
It's a decent run. Especially when you've kind of, all right, they got a favorable couple of circles towards the end of the game, but to be proactive and to move into that position in the first place and then hold point while everyone else is circling around you. I mean, hell, it kind of shows you that single shack, and you touched on how open, how dead that field could be. The only amount of cover is that one shack, and everyone was just feeding them. There was body boxes galore outside.
Yeah, really well played in the end. That 3v3v3 at the end looked very hectic, but the Knights kept their cool. Let's head down to hear from them now.
We're here right now with the Pittsburgh Knights, the chicken dinner winners. I tried to quickly ask them who wanted to chat as I came in here. No one gave me an answer, so this is unfortunate for you, but hi. I know none of you guys like speaking to me, but it's okay. So let's get into this now. That final sort of battle, do you think Reciprocity choosing to ignore you and you go fight Desperado was what helped secure that chicken dinner?
Yeah, I mean, they got a little bit lucky where other people were fighting in the circle, but overall, like, they played it well and they cleaned up, so it was good.
I'm laughing a lot and not at what you're saying, but because I'm getting trolled. Obviously, it's my first week here at PEL, and the desk has decided to stay in my ear and make a noise. So they're making a huge amount of noise while you're talking, so I apologize, I wasn't laughing at you. But thanks, guys. You're great. You're awesome. Let's talk about the fact that you're sitting middle of the log now. And in terms of the position that you're sitting in, looking forward to the rest of the week and the weeks ahead, I'm going to kill them because they are making a lot of noise. When you look for, it's an in-joke and it's not very professional, we know, but I have to, you have to meme the new person. Thanks, gents. Let's chat a little bit about what your game plan is, because you haven't exactly had possibly the games that you would want building up into week number 3. How are you planning to get more points on the board? More of this? More kills? More points?
I mean, we're just taking it one step at a time. We had pretty bad games today and we needed this, so obviously it's good to have it, but we're just taking it one step at a time, trying to fill out stuff and practice, so yeah.
Who do you think is your biggest threat in the competition, specifically here in Phase 3?
I don't think we got a biggest threat, but we're running into NIP a lot lately, so hopefully you can win a couple of fights versus them, and yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. Congratulations for the chicken dinner. That was a really impressive game there at the end. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going back to the desk. They're such great guys.
Pittsburgh Knights get themselves the victory there. Fantastic stuff from them. A great position to be able to take on Reciprocity and Desperados. Sorry to Sam, we slowly figured out there that she could hear us doing our bants thing. And guys, we are not quiet. We are not quiet human beings. So that was unfortunate, but you know, we do what we can. Overall though, Knights getting themselves the victory. Great for them. 2 DPS in particular, really pumping out the kills.
Walter and Stark, I mean, they kind of carried the whole team here, I'd say.
You know what I really want to see, guys?
Yeah.
If one is actually going to be in the top damage leader, if it's going to be Drayden. We'll see, though. No, overall, they played that extremely well. They did get crashed. They did get some kind of kills served to them in terms of they were kind of some loot delivery and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, how they played the end game, how they held down the southern side, and like the knowledge of the terrain and everything there really came to the advantage. And they ended up taking a big chicken dinner right there with a lot of kills to that.
Unlucky start for Liquid, as we saw there before. They were trying to crash it. This is something interesting, though. That was one car, and then another one, and then another one came towards Pittsburgh Knights there, sitting in that yellow house and just waiting for them.
They cleaned up the southern circle nicely as well. Reciprocity had the northwestern part of that circle. They held that down extremely well as well, managing to get 4 guys standing in the end there, but they were forced out by the circle that didn't take enough space. They should have pushed and taken the space that Desperados and the guys from the Calvin Clan specifically, he got way too close to them. They should have held that and held them out from that unfortunate situation there for them.
Second place, 2 times in a row for Desperados as well. So constantly trying to push themselves further and further here as the points do start racking up and coming on. And unfortunately for Team Liquid and NIP, they get themselves that 0 points, 15th and 16th. It has not been an easy couple of days or day for Team Liquid, to be honest.
No, super rough for a lot of the top teams right now.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on, honestly. We know that Liquid have teams that is sick, but I mean,
beyond that, it's still the same Liquid.
Not an excuse, though.
Sure, yeah.
For today, none of our big 5 teams are in the top 7.
Yeah.
So they're all having a rough day, and this is good for the other teams to kind of catch up. And 47 is sitting in 6th place though, but look at this, guys, 25 points with the 15 kill chicken there. This is a big lead and a big jump. They're going to catch up now.
Let me serve you this. They had 4 points coming into this game. So this is a huge jump for Pittsburgh Knights here in this game, getting themselves 15 kills alone, but also adding the 10 placement points on top of that.
And because NIP didn't have a great game as well, they're going to jump in and kind of get close to that as well. Knights are going to have only 7 points difference from NIP now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be extremely close, kind of closing the gap to the top end. And this is the teams that we really did expect kind of to contest for those top 6 spots right there.
Let's take a look at how Pittsburgh Knights stacked up against Desperados. Massive damage.
200, guys. Whew.
Well, that also proves how much they were fighting the whole time.
Yeah.
Because we're talking on Erangel now. Now, this is kind of the numbers we would see on Miramar because it's so much more open. You can snipe a lot more. On Erangel, it's more close combat that is happening. And we saw how Pittsburgh Knights were getting crashed by, for example, by Raise Your Edge and just accumulating those damage
That's why they
points.
put a big scope on the M249 and just started shooting everything because they were so close and they wanted to look at that.
Oh!
It's the wanted at Drayden and Snark. Look, fantastic right there. I mean, Reels did die early on. They had to kind of maybe find a defibrillator to rest him or something like that.
Something
but
like that.
Snark wanted big kills from those 2 guys. Nice to see that these guys are able to step up and do all the damage for them.
Not quite big head wanted, but wanted showing up in that second place.
It's even smaller than
Actually, Snark got a bigger head than wanted nowadays.
Yeah, what's going on?
I love that joke. That was a good joke. I miss those days. Phase 1 where Wanted's face was zoomed in so much and we just couldn't stop laughing. But nice to see these guys able to step up.
Yeah.
This is a big game for them. This is a nice kind of throwback to what we usually see from them and what we're able to see from them in the end of Phase 2 as well, guys.
miikaz making a special entrance there as well, as the ENCE got themselves 4th place. He got 4 kills for the team as a whole, so not too bad at all. To get themselves a few more points to push themselves further on. It's been not the easiest time for ENCE by any means. It doesn't feel like their confidence is truly back after the slight setback that they had a long time ago now, but regardless, still showing up in some of our top spots.
I mean, we saw them in Phase 2. They were struggling throughout the whole phase and literally down to last week, and that's when they got themselves out of the relegation spots. And right now, it seems to go the same way, actually. They are down there, and they are struggling a lot.
Currently sitting in 14th place, but they're only 40 points from 8th. So our mid pack is still kind of to get like each of each other, if they have a kind of a big shift like we've seen our top team have today. We have a lot of kind of shuffles, and I hope we're going to see that to continue, because honestly, it's getting close to being halfway. Where I mean, we have 40 games so far soon, and if it continues this, we're going to be having excitement to the end again.
Well, someone like NIP has already shown that they can kind of push themselves far in such a short space of time, from 12th place all the way up to 7th place. I'm not even sure where they are right now.
They're in 7th place right now.
Still 7th?
Yeah.
Still 7th, okay. As it stands. With a 9th place in that previous game. So one final game for Erangel today. That was a bit more of a spicy circle that we did see during all of that, and we are going to get our game going in a few moments' time. We're going to go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we return, it's one final game for the day here at PEL Phase 3.